Them doors 14 foot wide? Or is it 16? 16, I think. Microphone. Yeah, we're good so far. Gotcha. That's 16 foot wide, the doors are. So here she comes. We're good over here. That clears. Yeah, you're all clear over here. Yeah. So we had to do a little welding in there. They got that done. You can't see nothing in there 'cause it's too dark, so we didn't go up in there. Draining the oils on this motor. So while he was welding on that, I changed the fuel filters on the big motor. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Getting her all ready to go. All unplugged, ready to weld. Okay, this is a old feed wheel. Now look at how thin that wall is there. Right here. She ain't that thick, but it's not that thin. Seems heavy duty enough. This is that feed wheel. Ooh, that's got a crack. This is that feed wheel that we welded up that a lot of people said wouldn't work. And it's still holding strong. Okay, did some welding in there today, but this is that feed wheel. Now I'll show you the one we ordered, a new one when this one broke, and in case it didn't work. But the new one is serious. This is the other end of the shop. Here's the new one. Look at that. That right there is probably twice as thick as the one that's in there, but that's the one that we bought in case that one and the chipper broke again, and it's been sitting down here ever since. That one's been working beautifully, but this thing is seriously thick, and that is like twice as thick as that one that's in there. Real deal. And then this one's for the Model 23 that when I smash my finger, that's the one that's to go in there. So these have been sitting down here, as you can tell, getting all dusty, and but that's fine. But no, that one in that new chipper, or this one, is a serious feed wheel compared to the other one. They've obviously done a little bit of change into it, but for everyone who said it wouldn't work, it's still in there. Still in there. Hundreds of hours on it. It's rolling good. Just about done. All the welding's done. I'm just adding some oil. The locking button wouldn't work on that thing, so me and Will designed this. And it's working most excellent. So, adding our oil. Already changed everything else. I just have to change the oil in my gearbox for the little motor. And once we get that done, we'll be heading out to the woods. And maybe when we get out there, I'll show you what all we did. Our welder guy there, he doesn't like to be on camera a whole lot, so I didn't get too much welding. I don't want him to get irritated with me, you know. I like to keep him happy as much as possible. It's kind of hard to do, ain't it, Will?
That's for sure.
Yeah, you know how them welder guys go. They're, you know, yeah. I won't say any more. They're not quite as bad as truck drivers, but no. It's beautiful out though, nice day. Get her oil in her, get her fired up, we'll be ready to go. That's how many quarts of oil. How many are you gonna guess? What's your guess, Will? How many quarts of oil in this chipper? 57. Pretty close. All in my boot. What are you doing? Don't be flicking dirt. We just got 2 trucks out of this new job. And boy, oh boy. The wood wasn't horrible bad. Some of it wasn't bad. Hopefully it gets better towards the back. But the front stuff was along the front here was kind of not ideal. Let's just say it that way. So we got 2 of them out of here. It's a super small landing. Second truck turned around up there and backed in. And that wasn't too bad, but I think what I'm gonna have to do tomorrow is get on that dozer and get some sand from over here and put it right in that spot there and fill all that in so they can back up straighter, easier, because it was really tricky for them trucks to get backed in here. So I'm happy for the day to be over. As you can tell, Tom's out there. He's just about leaving. Josh is leaving. Everybody's wanting out of here. But I wanted to show you what we did to the chipper today. We'll get a look at it here. What all got well done. My knives are junk. Absolute garbage. It's just one of those days. Now, we welded on this here. You can see... Can you see that spot there, and there's a spot there, and a spot there. And what happened is, I'll go on this back one because this was the worst one. That one I've had to put new bolts in and make sure they're tight all the time. This one's a little harder to see down in there, and that got welded out. The problem is this is a hood that connects to the bottom part here. This part right here. This is a whole cover, and your cylinders are hooked to the cover, and your shaft and your flail drum's hooked to the bottom part. So it's got to be all together, and the problem is I broke off like 3 bolts and backed out like 3 of them, and I could tell there was problems a week or 2 ago. I was getting some more vibration, and as you can tell, that's after 2 loads of debris. Stuff just fills up in here. This is the worst one because you got your lower flail drum down there, and it's just a big old mess in here. Big old mess of leaves and debris. So that got welded up. That had come apart, and it's just, there's so much vibration going on in this whole machine. Every time one knife cuts off a blade of wood from each tree, just one swipe, you get a vibration. So there's thousands upon thousands of vibrations. The thing's just a whole rattling mess is what it is. So you gotta, I mean, there's constantly stuff loosening up all the time. So we got that welded up, and so far so good. That's good. And we welded on that second one there. That got fixed. And then we welded on some stuff down below, and I'll show you in a second. But then we serviced this motor and serviced the V12. So, and I changed the oil in my gearbox on this too today. So that was good. Got her all spiffed up, and oh, it's running a little better than it was before. It just started to blow a little bit of smoke out every now and then. And the V12 too, it needed some fuel filters. I didn't put air filters. I didn't have air filters for that motor, so we'll be throwing air filters in there, and then I think they'll come in tomorrow, either tomorrow or the next day. So that's that. It was actually really nice to get to the shop to get those few things done. It took us half a day to do it. We got out of there about 12:30, 1 o'clock. I was down there at 6 this morning. But the problem was when we got out here, it wasn't ready to go. The landing wasn't ready to go. So by the time I worked on that and got it where it's partially ready, we only had 1 skidder here, and we had 2 trucks, and we got those 2 trucks loaded. It just like, and we had to get the slasher in. The slasher wasn't here for the first load, so I sorted out some trees over there. It was just like a wild, crazy day. Going to the shop, doing all that for half a day, getting out here, having to get everything spruced up, get a couple loads out, and get everything lined up. Hopefully, Paul's not here. And it would have really helped to have Paul here today. He's cleaning up the other landing, and the thing about cleaning up landings that's really interesting is each landowner expects different than the next landowner. So some landowners want stuff a certain way, other landowners don't care, and so you got to kind of play each one out. You know, what are you doing? Quit playing in the dirt. So you got to kind of, you know, each one's different, and you just kind of go with the flow with each one and get what they want done. So this one might be a little pickier, so he's working really hard on getting that cleaned up. So he wasn't here, and it would have helped to have 2 skidders. I would have been done an hour and a half ago. Just the wood took longer to get up here, and being that it's shorter, it's not as tall, I can smoke through it a little faster. Therefore, the skidder's got to move a little quicker. And when you only got 1, and there's some mud holes back there, it's just one of those deals. But it ain't no big deal at all. We got through it. So in there, you have your belly that the wood rides on, and then it drops down, and so stuff can fall down into the conveyor and go out. But where it drops down, that had a crack all the way across it and was spreading apart. So that got welded back up in there. And then here on the back side is where the other welding took place. So it was nice to have my radiators cleaned today. I did notice my hydraulics were much cooler today than the last week. But here's what we did, and they've already taken a beating, and that's what I was worried about. but you're gonna have that. So right here, you can see those are the hinges that got built. That's already been. That's the hinges that got built for this to fold down. Because what happens is, this is the back side of the conveyor. This is where the conveyor goes underneath and up. And a lot of times you get stuff stuck in there. So you got to flip that down. There's a shaft obviously in there, and bearings that it rolls around. So you got to work on it every now and then, but stuff usually gets balled up in there. If you get a stick that goes down in there wrong, it can stop your conveyor. So you're constantly flipping that down. And the hinges broke off. It had one hinge for the last year probably, and then that broke off here a couple months ago. So we got down the shop, got that welded up at the same time. So that was the one thing about welding on this thing, is it's not that much fun by the time you unplug all your computers and your clutch stuff. But by the time you do all that, then you can't start it to move anything or do anything. You're stuck. So you got to have everything where you want it. Like we had to have this yoke lifted up when we welded on it this morning, and I needed to do my filters, and it was super hard to do those with that up. But I did it while I was up because he was welding on this, and I could work on that. But it was really hard because it's in my way. But it's just one of those things that you're kind of in a predicament. But that's what got done at our last shop visit. It got washed. Radiators all got washed. I like that, especially with summer coming. And got some welding done. Got it serviced. Just another day in the woods. So, I'm ready to go home. You ready to go home? Boys. My feet hurt. These boots that I wear are not made for cement floors. So when I'm in the shop crawling all over, my feet hurt. I'm wore out. That's what we're dealing with. Look at the pumpkin marks. It's just sand here. You ready to go, bro?
Yes, ready to go to my baseball practice.
He says he has baseball practice, but I never got to.
I do. It's every Tuesday and Thursday, mister.
My 7-year-old boy is smarter than me. Right?
No.
Anywho, tell everybody bye. Tell the chipsters bye. We'll see them later.
Bye, Bon.
I don't know what he said. We'll see all you guys later. Me and the boys out of here. You chipsters all have a wonderful